All right. Well, I want to be cognizant of everybody's time, and we'll get started right away here. I know we've got a few more that are probably going to jump on in the next few minutes, but I want to thank everybody for coming on today for this discussion on mindfulness. Really interesting topic. I think a topic that is a little bit misunderstood. Maybe you have some questions about it, and we're going to kind of sift through some of that today. I know we've got some good speakers today. I want to thank ClinCloud Clinical Research for coming alongside us and helping us out for this event. Really is great in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month. My name is Jeremy Waller. I'm the Marketing and Community Outreach Manager for Behavioral Health for the behavioral health nonprofit IMPOWER. I'm joined today with one of our licensed mental health counselors, Casey Wallace, and of course our friends from ClinCloud. And we're gonna run the presentation today, probably for about 40 minutes or thereabouts. If you have any questions that come up, you can hold them till the end. If you have some and you want to put them out there anyway ahead of time, you can put them in the comments. I'll be monitoring those as we go along, and I'll address those at the end as well. But we're gonna jump on in with Casey, then ClinCloud, and then a Q&A, and we'll be sure to have everybody out of here by dinner time. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Casey.
Alrighty, thank you, Jeremy. Okay, so as he said, I will be speaking to you all about a misunderstood topic. I think this has been turned into quite a buzzword, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic, mindfulness. So we hear a lot about being mindful or mindful activities, but we don't really know what it really means to be mindful, what mindfulness can do or benefit for us in our day-to-day lives. And so I really want to get into some different ways on how it can benefit us, what we can do to incorporate it more into our day-to-day, and just also give you guys some resources, books, apps, and things like that that you can kind of get started with if you don't know what to do or where to start with the path to mindfulness. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and let's get started. All right. So this will be our general agenda. We're going to start off with just what is mindfulness, talk a little bit about some practical applications. So how to apply this from a daily standpoint, and also speaking to some clinicians that might be out there here today, coming from a clinical standpoint. So maybe using with clients that you might see, talking about some helpful affirmations and those resources. So what is mindfulness? So the general definition would be the quality or state of being conscious or aware of something. It's a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment. And we do this by calmly acknowledging and accepting our feelings, our thoughts, our bodily sensations, and we'll get into later how this is utilized as a therapeutic technique. So mindfulness is a skill that everyone has, and it needs to be practiced just like any other skill, regularly, consistently. Mindfulness can be done anytime, anywhere, with any activity, whether it be the most mundane to the most, thought-provoking thing you can think of, and anywhere in between. So I like to say, though, that mindfulness must start with mindfulness. So we have to be purposefully and actively working to incorporate mindfulness into daily living in order to build and maintain that habit formation. So we have to, first and foremost, be mindful about incorporating mindfulness. A lot of this can be easier said than done. So what are some ways that people engage in mindfulness? A lot of people have heard about yoga or meditation or breathing. A lot of times these are kind of like the main go-tos when you hear, oh, practice of mindfulness. And these are great. You can do a lot of yoga, breathing, meditation, but it's not the only things that you can do. And so in this picture here, I have just a couple quick, easy ways to start incorporating a couple different aspects of mindfulness into your day-to-day. And it only takes a little bit of time. As it says, consistency is key. It's about habit formation. It's building better habits for the future. Just like you build a habit when, you're brushing your teeth twice a day and flossing once a day, or trying to exercise 3 times a week. So mindfulness can, as we said, mindfulness can be incorporated into any type of activity, journaling, cooking, chores, exercise, creative outlets. We can be mindful when driving. We can be mindful at work or with our work, how we communicate with others, how we talk to our friends and family, how we talk to our coworkers. So this here showing how we can start our day maybe with some yoga, then checking in with our breathing throughout the day, relaxing at the end of the day, maybe with guided meditation or journaling, or doing body scans to pay attention to tension or stress that might be popping up throughout the day. It's just about finding something that's purposeful to you. You don't want to do something that your heart's not in just because, oh, I got to do a mindfulness activity, right? I got to be mindful. So you want to get the most out of what you're doing. And when we get the most out of what we're doing, we reap the benefits. So what are some of the benefits to mindfulness? Well, first and foremost, it increases our attention. Being mindful in and of itself is drawing attention and preventing distraction from wandering thoughts. So we're refocusing our attention onto the here and now, into the present moment. And it also teaches us to spot some negative thought patterns so we can take in our thoughts, observe them, and sort of piece through, okay, this is negative thought, this is a neutral thought, this is a positive thought, and move along, which leads to the ability to withhold judgment. So we train the mind to let thoughts pass through without analyzing or reacting to them. I like to say that when we're in that withholding judgment phase of analysis, or lack of analysis rather, it's like a happy medium. So we get to a point where we're withholding judgment and we're not avoiding our thoughts, but we're not overreacting and we're not overanalyzing. We're just seeing it as it is. And then this can also lead to us becoming more open, so we can free ourselves from our natural tendency to label and sort things, experiences, judging ourselves, judging our thoughts, and being really wrapped up in our perceptions of maybe ourselves or what's going on around us, where we're so distracted that we can't focus on just existing and getting the most out of what we're doing when we're doing it. So some practical applications for mindfulness. Coming from a clinician standpoint, here are some tried and true methods we definitely utilize a lot with our clients. So those deep breathing techniques, progressive muscle relaxation, journaling, which is a big one that I'll get into a bit later on, and guided imagery or meditation again. And when we were holding more sessions in person, creating a relaxing atmosphere for clients. So we were really big on lighting and mood in one of my previous previous establishments and agencies, and we try to make it really relaxing, maybe have like aromatherapy diffusers, and it really helped to have clients be fully focused in their sessions. So when we talk about it from a clinician standpoint, we're talking about mindfulness as a cognitive behavioral technique. And we use behavioral activation exercises to increase mindfulness. So we can create a written schedule with clients, just garnering what they like to do, putting it on a schedule and giving them big, small tasks that are just positive and rewarding and simple that they can accomplish, that they feel good about. And it increases their motivation to do it again or to change their habits and to move towards better habit formation. Another practical application, mindfulness related to eating. So I know, and I have been a culprit of mindless eating before. I know everyone has. We can eat past the point of feeling full, eat comforting foods when we're feeling sad or emotional. We can tend to eat alone, random time, places, eat while multitasking. That's a big one, where you're not even thinking about it. You're just, oh, I got 5 minutes, I'm done. Okay, on to the next thing. And by incorporating mindfulness into the way that we see and view our meals and our food, it does double duty. It kind of, yes, we get the benefit of mindfulness, but it kind of also helps us with the nutritional aspect of our lives as well. So we're listening to our body, we're stopping when we're full, and we're maybe choosing to eat with others, set times, have a schedule, making it a point to eat nutritionally healthy foods. And when we're eating, we're just eating. We're not doing 10 other things at the same time. We're not distracted. We're focused on the nutrition that we're giving our bodies. Another practical application, mindful movement. So what does everyone think they use to breathe? What muscle? Many people will say the lungs, but it's the diaphragm. So the diaphragm is what actually tightens and contracts. It creates space for the lungs to expand and inhale. It is what is actually making that space for your lungs to do the breathing. Your lungs aren't doing anything. And that's why we say this is a mindful movement when you're doing deep breathing exercises. It takes skill. It's training a muscle to learn how to do this. And so it does take time to learn how to do it and do it well. And so putting attention and time into something that sounds so simple, I could do deep breathing, whatever. But are you doing it coming from a place of mindfulness? Are you really sitting down and using your muscles, training your muscles so that you get the benefit of doing it? Kind of going back to some nutrition. So tips for healthy meals and meal building, mindful meal building. Again, we're focusing on good choices, healthy choices, and taking our time, paying attention to the food that we are preparing and eating, trying to try new foods. I know, especially in the pandemic era, there's a lot of delivery, right? Takeaway. And maybe we would tend to sit in front of the TV, eat. It feels good. It's comforting. But maybe just taking more time, even if it's just one meal a day, and making it a point to sit at the table, choosing a different kind of food to incorporate into your meal, whatever it might be. Some mindful journaling tips. So mindfulness with journaling for me, I've used an app because pen and paper wasn't just doing it for me. So I've used an app called Jour. It's free, but you can pay for it too. And this is excellent. It really helps in giving you guidance if you don't know where to get started with journaling. So it definitely helps me stay rooted in the present because it gives me prompts, and it can help to set alarms or alert you like, hey, it's time to journal, or how are you feeling, doing check-ins with your emotions as well. So that's a really good app, and I'll talk a little bit more about it later. With journaling though, it's good to not have expectations. Oh, I'm not writing the right thing. Well, there isn't anything that you need to be writing. It's just the act of writing. So visualizing yourself writing, creating a routine, scheduling the time, make observations, narrate, doodle, whatever it is. But again, this is coming back to habit formation, journaling consistently. And even if consistency for you is not daily, that's fine too. But finding it as a part of your life that brings benefits. So our little SAS acronym: spirituality, activity, and self-care and sleep. These are some main components of mindfulness. Spirituality. So this can mean a lot of different things to many people. It could mean being in nature. It could mean organized religion, getting in touch with, a higher power through prayer. Again, yoga or meditation. But it's primarily about reflection or making time for a pause in your life. So whatever that means to you, reflecting back on how can I be mindful in my spirituality and connect with myself, with a higher power or nature, or with others that share my beliefs. Activity. I said before, do what makes you happy. Don't feel obligated to do something because you think this is what you got to do for mindfulness. So find activities that are fun, that match your values, things you want to do, you're excited about, and be intentional when planning each activity. For this though, I want to put a warning. So if you're a planner, don't turn it into something that stresses you out. Don't feel like you have to, I got to plan this mindful activity. I have to do it. It takes the fun out of it. So be intentional and be purposeful. Don't turn it into another thing on the list to do. Mindfulness is not supposed to be a chore. It's supposed to be a good habit. And perhaps finding an accountability partner. So somebody who can check in with you, maybe do activities with you, and just finding companionship with another person. Self-care. So this kind of goes a little bit along with activities because they can go hand in hand. But again, being intentional about self-care. So coming from a clinician's perspective, it helps us help our clients and just helps us all around be better human beings. So we'll have more positive experiences all around. Any activity for a certain person can be self-care. Napping, going for a walk, eating a favorite snack, exercise, doing a special hobby, anything, but being intentional about my time is important, I'm important, so I'm going to pay attention to myself. And sleep, this is a very big one. I know that a lot of times people are running on very little sleep, or it's disturbed sleep. And sometimes this can be at no fault of our own, but there are things that we can do to help us be more mindful about our sleep habits and our patterns. So I don't know many people who don't have their phone with them at this point, but dimming your phone light at night can be helpful. So dimming it or changing to night shift if you have iPhone or Android to turn off that blue light. So it's a little bit more easy to get to sleep. If you can place devices away from the bedroom, it's good to do it. But if you can't, we use it as an alarm, placing it face down. And when you're done, you're done. You're putting your phone down for the day and you're going to sleep. Anything else can wait. And then again, you could journal before bed. So letting thoughts go at the end of the day. This is a good one. Like I said, with the Journ app, I was able to use it on my phone. Journal before bed, put it down, put it away. Okay, time to go. Some helpful affirmations. So things that we can tell ourselves just to refocus our thoughts. And these can be positive as well, or just matter of fact, just bringing us into the moment. So telling ourselves things like, I will feel every experience that comes my way. I will be still. I'll trust myself. I will love myself. I will pay attention. Whatever affirmation can be helpful to you to get you through the day, move you on to the next, refocus yourself, pay attention to yourself. Here's a good quote. So learning how to sit with unpleasant experiences and thoughts and just explore them with acceptance, interest, and non-judgment may be the key to reducing stress. So just in this one sentence, I feel like there's so much truth. People tend to want to fix and change constantly, but acceptance and non-judgment is so much harder. Again, some more helpful affirmations. So we can be okay with being vulnerable. We can be okay to say no or yes to something. We can try new things. I will have fun, enjoy new people, places, and things. I will listen. I will own my choices. I will choose how I want to think, act, and feel. And I think that's a key tenet of mindfulness. You are making a choice to be mindful and be present focused. So here are some of those resources, some books. One in particular I know a lot of people have heard about is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And actually, I found this on my own bookshelf that I received from Barnes & Noble months ago. This is called Calm. So it's 50 mindfulness and relaxation exercises to de-stress and unwind. And this is by Dr. Arlene K. Unger. This is excellent. It's very small, compact, easy to read, and it also has some positive affirmations in here too. So this is an excellent resource, very varied in what it offers as well. And so some more apps. Calm is a big one. I know many people use that one. And Headspace, Insight Timer, not too familiar with all of them. Jor has been my big one. So if anybody wants to get in any more information about that one, I would probably be the best resource for that. But there are many other resources. Calm, I know, also has guided meditations within it as well. right, so thank you all for listening to my presentation. I appreciate it. I hope you got something interesting about it. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let us know.
Thanks, Casey. Really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and post. We kind of truncated Casey's presentation down to a single page PDF resource. And I just sent that link to that in the chat. You can check that out. Before I set it over to ClinCloud to kind of wrap us up before the Q&A, do want to let everybody know we're going to post a recording of this live on our IMPOWER YouTube channel tomorrow, probably later in the morning. We're going to have links in that video description to all the resources we talked about today and to some other things as well. So definitely be on the lookout for that. We'll also blast that link out to that video in all of our social channels as well. But enough from me. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our friends at ClinCloud Clinical Research to kind of talk to us a little bit more.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Shoemaker, and I'm a marketing associate with ClinCloud.
And I'm Marcela Magana. I'm the recruitment manager.
And we're just going to give a little rundown about ClinCloud and mindfulness and research. So ClinCloud Clinical Research is a state-of-the-art clinical trials research facility located in the Orlando, Florida metropolitan area, reaching a diverse population of 2.13 million, located adjacent to the Sand Lake MRI imaging building in Maitland, Florida, which allows us patient access to imaging service as well as a strong, safe medical community and location. And ClinCloud creates relationships within our community, optimizes advances in medicine, identifies areas for improvement, and educates on resources available through the community and research. And all of our services are offered at no cost to participants and to caregivers. Some of the services we do offer are memory screenings in clinic or virtual, liver screenings, education about medical conditions or symptoms, trained medical professionals, access to unique and cutting edge treatments, and especially counseling services. And some of the areas that we specialize in are memory loss, migraines, biomarkers for dementia detection, fatty liver disease, gastroparesis, diabetes, Parkinson's disease, and OCD. And some of the benefits from working with ClinCloud are, like I said, all of our services are at no cost to our participants, in clinic and virtual care by board certified physicians, Spanish-speaking cognitive raters on staff, focus on elderly and minority populations, mental health, counseling, and access to new treatments, and also transportation assistance available. So how mindfulness kind of connects with research is it's a technique that dates back about 2,500 years and often uses an anchor such as breathing to help center attention and to bring awareness to the present moment. With so many healthcare options to choose from, it can be easy to get overwhelmed and choose nothing at all. When you start to think of research as a resource and as your anchor, you can begin to be present with your health. And research provides a no-cost option, innovative treatments, and a dedicated staff who are ready to help you through your journey. So research helps take away the stress and anxiety of searching for answers and allows you to quiet, the thoughts of restlessness with your health. And I'm going to share a video from our mental health counselor, Mike. Make sure the sound is on. And so when you're enrolled in the trial here at ClinCloud, you're allotted our counseling services at no cost to you, and Mike is one of our licensed mental health counselors, so
life moves pretty fast, so if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. That's a quote from the famous Ferris Bueller. Good morning, my name is Mike Martinez. I'm the psychometric director here at ClinCloud, and I also do some mental health counseling services here at ClinCloud. Mental Health Awareness Month is very important because oftentimes we're always go, 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 and we lose track of things that are important. family, and those things. So keeping in mind our own mental health, if we're able to stop and fill our own cup and take care of ourselves, then we're able to do a better job taking care of others, taking care of our family. We'll probably even do better at our jobs if we are rested and feeling good and feeling healthy. So that's why mental health is a huge thing. It should be a whole year. It shouldn't just be 1 month, but it's important, and I'm happy that we do have this month to kind of focus on that because it's very important. So life is moving pretty fast. We're constantly bombarded with information from all angles. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have notifications on our devices, TVs are on everywhere we go. There's always information and advertisements everywhere. So how do we, disconnect from all this? Life is moving so fast, and we need to set time for the important things. So what I always recommend people to do is to just take a moment and simply disconnect. Set a time for, if it's dinner time, leave your phone in the room. No TVs on, leave the phone out of reach. Also, upon waking up, maybe not check your phone real quick. Leave your phone off for maybe an hour, 30 minutes. It's good to just give yourself that space to just ease into the day. It's also important to make time for the things that matter the most to us. So we got to start by defining that. What matters the most to us? Is it family? Is it, you're spending time with friends? What fills up your emotional bucket? So think about things that fill you up. Do you have a hobby? Maybe reconnecting with old friends or some other activities that you used to do. It's important to make time in the week to do these things, because once you do these things, then again, you're gonna be filled up, and then you could help fill others up and help other people. Here at ClinCloud, we offer different services that can be an extension to the standard of care that you receive. For instance, we offer fibroscans, which look at the liver, and we have memory testing here. So if you're worried about your memory, you could come in, and we do offer free memory testing here. If you qualify for clinical trials, then that extends and opens up more opportunities for you. Different studies have PET scans, MRIs, lab work, blood work, all these things that are provided to you. And of course, you do get the results of all that, and we would send those, with your permission, to your doctor if you wanted us to. Same goes for the memory testing. We would write up a little report, and if you want, we could send that over to your physician, just so that everybody's in the loop. So some of the good things that we provide here at ClinCloud. And then as far as mindfulness and meditation, this connects a lot with staying in the moment, how to ease stress. Clinically, meditation and mindfulness in particular has been shown to reduce stress, anxiety, and if you're controlling stress and anxiety, then you're also controlling high blood pressure. There's been research studies that have shown that meditation and mindfulness are good practices and help you with these issues.
All right, and thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Marcella for the Q&A.
Everyone, does anyone have any questions or concerns or like to get more information on anything?
All right, looks like Becky's got a question. Let's see what we got.
Sure.
Phyllis has a question. Phyllis, I'm going to go ahead and give you permission to speak into the chat here. So if you have a mic available, you can go ahead and talk. If not, feel free to just post it in the chat.
I'm unmuting. I don't know what happened to my picture. How do you get referred to ClinCare? Do you need a doctor to refer you?
We have different means of getting our referrals. And yes, we do physician referral. We also advertise and do campaigns on several different platforms. For example, in StudyCake, Rocket Trials, SubjectWell, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We and also on our website, we have a portal that we're also creating whereby patients can also reach out to us if they're interested in a particular study or simply just a memory assessment. And also they will be listed, right? The other services and programs that we also offer. So we're trying, the more we grow, we're trying to expand our resources to make them all available to our patients or people out there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I just posted 2 links again in the chat. And we'll have these, out everywhere tomorrow to our website and to ClinClouds as well. I actually kind of have a question for either party. There's a famous Harvard study by Killingsworth and Gilbert that states that the average time our mind spends wandering in any given hour is about 28 minutes. And pardon the pun, that kind of blows my mind. I mean, it's just incredible. Are from both of y'all's perspectives, are you seeing this becoming more of a challenge with clients that you're seeing? Are you finding more people are just becoming more in need of this? What's it kind of looking like from, I guess, the frontline perspective? Do you find that a lack of mindfulness kind of coincides with a lot of other symptoms and things people are experiencing, or what's it kind of looking like right now?
I would definitely say that is a big yes. So when I
is.
was regularly seeing clients, they have this going on and that going on, and their mind is racing either intentionally or unintentionally. And so they're finding it very difficult to sometimes even be present in session.
Yeah.
To just sit and focus for that hour or try to get a benefit out of the session. They may be thinking about what they got to do later, or, and it really hinders progress and growth in the treatment process if they cannot be mindful about their treatment. It has to be a focus and a priority.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said being intentional and purposeful and consistent is going to really that's what's going to reap the rewards.
Exactly. And especially with this whole pandemic, a lot of more people had trouble being mindful of the situation, and trying to cope with it. So we found that affecting a lot more people having some kind of memory deficiency, especially the stress.
I think a lot of people also maybe forgot how in the beginning of the pandemic, it was very, work from home life and let's do these little activities. And, people really forgot about that real quick. So it just turned into a daily grind. And I think a lot of people forgot about how to incorporate focusing on themselves on a day-to-day basis. It was just getting to the next day.
I think too, there's something to be said about, like you spoke this a lot, Casey, that the choices that we make, being mindful and intentional about choices. And I know there's a lot of famous studies that have been done where, if I showed you gave you 10 options right now and told you to pick one, you'd spend a lot of time guessing what to pick, and what you picked, you probably wouldn't be satisfied with. But if I gave you 3 things, you'd have less time, you wouldn't jump around as much, and you'd probably be a lot more satisfied with what you'd pick. And I say all that to say, there's I use the expression too much of everything today. There's just a lot of stuff, just going, to the store to buy something at the grocery store suddenly becomes this big list of choices. And I want to go to Amazon, that's great, but the Amazon river is huge. I mean, do you really have to browse it for hours when you just want to buy one thing, right? Just a lot of different things where, accepting something and just moving forward, not getting trapped into this cycle where you also have FOMO, fear of missing out, going on a lot, where oh my goodness, if I don't do this right now, I'm gonna miss out on it. I need to have it all. It's tough out there. But I'll say personally, I mean, it sounds, again, like we said this at the beginning, mindfulness sounds easy, but it's easier said than done. But I will say disconnecting from a lot. I can't emphasize how much it helps me. I mean, I'm guilty of a lot of this most of the time as well, but it really does make a difference. It's like,
Does.
for me, it's usually okay. It's like 8:30 at night. Phone's just going away, and I don't need it anymore. And I think too, mindfulness where I've seen it really play a good role too is in the workplace. Um, a lot of people are overworked. It's tricky today, and how do you balance things, right? I have long-term projects too. I've got 10 emails that just came in right now. Are they really that urgent? What do I do? How do I stay in the moment in a meeting? And there's a lot of there's just a lot of good takeaways from this.
And it's real. Oh man, Jeremy, you're preaching to the choir right now, because I had my own big epiphany with being mindful about my workload and what I'm putting on myself, and my boundaries. And that's really important. It can spiral out of control before you know it and lead to some problems that you didn't even realize would happen.
Exactly. Yeah, so true.
Looks like Terry's got a question here. Glad you could join us, Terry. That's awesome, by the way. Any tips on how to stay calm when you work in an environment that is stressful, fast, with multiple people asking questions?
Yeah.
I get where that's coming from, Terry. I get it.
For sure. So I feel like this sometimes on a day-to-day basis. I deal with a lot of rapid emails, IMs, calls, text messages, going into what's called our queue, approving documents, getting answers for people here now, and all while staring at a screen. Okay, so I think taking a moment to say, I'm going to get up and get a drink of water. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to look away from the screen. If you got that opportunity, if you're in person, maybe saying, I'm hearing what you're saying, I'm listening, I'm taking it in. Can you give me a couple minutes to get back to you? But really saying, look, I'm understanding, I'm here, I'm in the moment, but I need a moment. So hopefully that might be helpful.
I kind of have a thing that's helped me too with that, because I've worked in the nonprofit sector my whole life, and it's pretty fast and furious. I mean, especially in human services, right? We all see a lot every day. And the famous Dwight Eisenhower quote of what is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important. Really huge, really huge. And when you think about it, this is kind of a rough quote, but it's so true. Just being frank about it. I mean, what is an email inbox but a list of other people's agendas, right? So so being mindful of that too, and just tiering things of what is important and what's not. It looks like Casey. Oh no, sorry. Becky has a question for Casey. She says, "Is mindful eating part of any diet plans? Do any diet plans incorporate this concept?"
That's an excellent question. I'm interested in that too. I'm not sure. Perhaps something like, don't quote me, but I have a feeling things maybe like intermittent fasting might have something to do with that. Listening when you're full, eating, intermittently. I know the basic tenets of any diet plan have some of what I've discussed. So choosing healthy nutritional options, that's using smaller plates thing, where it kind of tricks your brain into eating a smaller portion but feeling full. I have a good colleague who actually just presented the other day, Lori. Lori is very, very knowledgeable about food and nutrition. So I could definitely ask her about that and get back to you.
Actually, and I'll put in a shameless plug here for that presentation we did with Lori. That was the one we had a couple of days ago with the Heart Association. And we didn't talk about mindfulness in that by name, but Casey's definitely onto it. The concept of mindfulness was in a lot of what we talked about, from a intentional eating standpoint, from a standpoint of getting into just healthy routines. We talked about routine a lot and just slowly building into a healthier lifestyle. So definitely check that out. That video it's on our YouTube channel again as well. There was definitely some dovetail to the things we're talking about today.
Good question, Becky. Yeah, if you want to send me your email or information, and I can reach out to Lori and I can get that for you.
Cool. You're welcome, Becky. Any other questions? We got about 10 or so minutes left. Definitely want to make sure everybody gets the value out of their time. Anything else on anybody's minds? Well, looks like we might be with, let's see, we got any others in here? Any other, well, we can start kind of wrapping it up, I guess, a little bit. I'm going to go ahead real quick, and I just put my contact info into the chat. If anybody has any questions about the presentation, you want a copy of the slides, you have questions that weren't addressed, you want to get in touch with us more, by all means, just let us know. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming on. Any other final kind of thoughts or things from ClinCloud or Empower?
Be present, be in the moment.
And be proactive with your brain health.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cool. I think this was definitely a good discussion. Again, a topic that you kind of look at and you go, I think I know all about that already. And you kind of don't. There's a lot of really good information out there. Again, we'll post this tomorrow on YouTube and social media. We'll have links to the apps, to the books, to us, to ClinCloud. And definitely want to thank ClinCloud for coming alongside for Mental Health Awareness Month. They do a really good job of letting people know about what we do, and likewise. So they do a lot of good work, and appreciative for having you guys on. Absolutely.
You're welcome. Thanks to the marketing
Thank you
team
so
here.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
All right. Unless there are any other questions, I'll go ahead. We'll wrap up a little bit early. And again, want to thank everybody for jumping on today. We definitely appreciate it.
Alrighty, thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Empower. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Have a good evening.
Have an excellent night.
Bye. You too.
Bye.
Bye.